I'm having breakfast with Mary Lee. Yo-do-do-do-dee. I'm having breakfast with Mary Lee.
I am so excited. Thanksgiving arrives this week, my favorite day of the year. Don't you just love a holiday you can smell? Oh, let me start off with a bad Thanksgiving joke. So this turkey goes to a psychic for a reading. The psychic gazes into her crystal ball and tells the turkey, "I see you surrounded by family." Well, not your family. A very special week in addition to Thanksgiving, 3 Chain of Checks fundraisers. Tuesday and Wednesday, the Bank of Clark's Stevens City branch is holding a bake sale to benefit Chain of Checks. And, of course, this Friday, opening night of Walking in a Winter Wonderland at Clearbrook Park. Half the proceeds will be going to Chain of Checks. On this episode, my special guest is Michael Hummer, a volunteer with the American Cancer Society. We'll talk about taking the stress out of wrapping your presents for the holidays. It's Wrapping Up Cancer for Hope. Mike's going to talk about their gift wrapping services at Apple Blossom Mall. Right now, though, your brain buster. This has been around since the 1970s and was invented by 3 Nobel Prize-winning scientists. Is it A, stovetop stuffing, B, electric carving knife, or C, tofu turkey? The answer at the end of the show. All righty, time to take a little stress out of your holiday. So every Christmas, you say you're going to do it different. Things will be different next year. You're not going to be spending half the night wrapping presents, missing out on watching It's a Wonderful Life with the rest of the family. You'll get a full night's sleep. And then the next year comes, you buy the gifts, you hide them away. Oh, but then there's Halloween, and then there's Thanksgiving, and then there's decorating, and there you are, Christmas Eve, wrapping presents into the wee hours of the morning. This year, you can make it different. Let somebody else wrap those presents for an awesome cause, the American Cancer Society. Joining me is volunteer rapper, that's W-R-A-P-P-E-R, American Cancer Society volunteer Michael Hummer. And Michael, we go back a lot of years with Relay for Life events. Any guess as to how many years you've been involved?
Well, Barry, I have been involved with Relay for Life for 18 years. I became a cancer survivor in 2022, so I have been able to see the progression of how the American Cancer Society and the local Relay for Life events helps people locally as well.
So this brings back good memories. The Gift Wrap Center at Apple Blossom Mall. And you guys are ready for Black Friday and then beyond. Tell us the dates.
Well, we will be wrapping up Cancer for Hope at the Apple Blossom Mall in the food court. We're going to be open Black Friday weekend, which is November 28th and 29th, that Friday and Saturday. And then we will reopen on December 12th through Christmas Eve, the 24th. So we will be there for the early birds as well as those last-minute shoppers.
So right there at beautiful Apple Blossom Mall. And aromatherapy, you're going to be right near where?
We will be right next door to Chick-fil-A in the Apple Blossom Mall.
How convenient is that? And set up at the Wrapping Up Cancer for Hope Center, you'll have trained volunteers that are doing the wrapping. And what kind of prices are we talking about?
Well, we have a variety of price points. It's based on the size of the package. Guests will be able to pick out their own paper and ribbon that they want, and we will wrap those on the spot. Depending upon how busy, there may be a little bit of a wait, but we will do them as soon as possible.
Now, obviously, that's a lot of man and woman hours there at the Wrapping Up Cancer for Hope Center there at Apple Blossom Mall. You need additional volunteers, and training is provided. How can we volunteer?
Well, Barry, there are several ways that someone can volunteer to help. We do have different shifts available. They're approximately 5-hour shifts at a time. And my contact information, you can just reach out to me by phone or text at 540-450-6701. You can also reach out to the American Cancer Society. The local staff partner is Penny Horner, and her email is penny, Penny, .Horner, HORNER, at cancer.org. We also are posting the links to social media, so it's easy to do a sign-up genius, and you can go and sign up for the shift that you want.
And Mike, where would they go to get that link?
We do have the link posted in several local pages on Facebook, as well as the local Relay for Life of the Northern Shenandoah Valley page, as well as several local group pages.
Now, obviously, Wrapping Up Cancer for Hope, it's a fundraiser for Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. And let's talk about where the money goes.
Yes, the American Cancer Society, their vision is to end cancer as we know it for everyone. And the mission of the organization is to improve the lives of people with cancer and their families through advocacy, research, and patient support to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to prevent, detect, treat, and survive cancer. Programs that affect people locally, there is the Hope Lodge. If you have to go away for a treatment somewhere, there are different Hope Lodges where you can stay for free. And the money to support that comes from Relay for Life events such as the ones locally. There's also a Road to Recovery program where if you need to attend cancer treatment and you don't have any way to get there, they will set you up with a local volunteer that will transport you to your treatment. We also have a lot of different screening opportunities where you can learn about how to be screened locally for cancers.
Mike, you mentioned 18 years of volunteering with the American Cancer Society, and then in December of 2022, you hear the news, it's cancer. How did the ACS help you prepare for what was ahead?
Well, as a longtime volunteer, I knew the importance of screening, and I spent a lot of time on the ACS website, cancer.org, and just learned about the different options for screening. And I had had some symptoms that I knew that something wasn't quite right. So I did reach out to my local doctor and was able to have the screenings that were necessary to find the cancer relatively early. So by utilizing the resources on cancer.org, as well as their app, ACS Cares, I was able to figure out what I needed to do and what steps I needed to take to have a successful outcome.
That's great news. So we're helping out Relay for Life by having our packages wrapped there at Apple Blossom Mall. But let's talk about the upcoming events because there's a slew of them. You're busy.
There are a lot of events locally that people can participate in. The first event would be the Northern Shenandoah Valley Relay for Life, which is presented by Shenandoah University. It includes Winchester, Frederick County, Clark County, Warren County, anybody in the Northern Shenandoah Valley. That event will be March 20th, which is a Friday evening from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the James R. Wilkins Jr. Athletic and Events Center. You can find our page online to sign up and participate in that. Jefferson County locally has an event which is presented by Shepherd University on April 18th, which is from noon to midnight on campus. And then locally, Berkeley County has their event on June 6th from 12 p.m. to midnight at Martinsburg High School. There's also another great event in the spring that generally sells out every year. It's the 14th annual Diamond and Pearl Extravaganza on April 11th at Heritage Hall in Inwood, West Virginia from 5 to 8:30 p.m. Tickets are $50 per person, and all the jewelry is from Reed Jewelers. So you can find information on that on the Berkeley County Relay for Life webpage.
And in case someone wasn't able to write down the different dates and what's going on, what's a general location where we can find out about all these events, Mike?
Well, the easiest way is to go to relayforlife.org. You put in the zip code that you want to search, and it'll show you the local events nearby. You can also go to Facebook and just search Relay for Life, and it'll pull some of our local event pages as well.
All right, 'tis the season. Wrapping Up Cancer for Hope, Apple Blossom Mall. Mike and the volunteers are going to be set up next to Chick-fil-A November 28th and 29th, and then December 12th through the 24th. You can do your shopping, drop off the packages, go back to shopping, go eat, come back, pick up your presents, and you're not going to be up all night Christmas Eve wrapping the presents. They're going to look awesome, and at the same time, you're providing comfort and saving lives through the American Cancer Society. Michael Hummer, American Cancer Society volunteer, thank you so much for what you and the volunteers are doing.
Thank you, Barry. We appreciate the opportunity, and we wish everyone a wonderful holiday.
And my thanks to Lori Eversole at City National Bank. They provided us this nice conference room where we could do our interview. All righty, get out your podcast planner. Let's take a look at what's coming up this week. Monday, the 24th, it's National Sardines Day. And we can all give thanks that those won't end up on a platter on Thursday at our table. Tuesday, the 25th, it's Shopping Reminder Day, just 30 days till Christmas. As I mentioned earlier, it's also the first day of the bake sale at Bank of Clark, the Stephen City branch. From 8:30 to 4, pick up some fresh homemade baked goods to serve your guests, or take along to whatever Thanksgiving Day dinner you're going to. Wednesday, the 26th, the lobby there at Bank of Clark and Stephen City will be set up for day 2 of their bake sale from 8:30 to 4. And Wednesday night, just a reminder to set your bathroom scales back 10 pounds. Thursday, Thanksgiving. That time of year when Americans stop and count their blessings, usually at halftime. Historians tell us that not much has changed since the Pilgrims gathered together at that first Thanksgiving. Travel by air back then was also impossible. But this is that time of year when we think of others, so please remember to say a prayer for the poor this Thanksgiving. Of course, with current food prices, somebody's got to be praying for us, right? But seriously, it is a time to pause and count our blessings. One way to do that is to put up a blank poster, have a marker nearby, and all during the day, just have guests list what they're thankful for. It's always fun to look back through the years and see what family and guests were thankful for that year. I'm really thankful for mashed potatoes. And I know that you can eat mashed potatoes any time of year, but it's still my number one favorite thing. I don't know why it is. They always taste better on Thanksgiving Day. By the way, speaking of mashed potatoes, they say people will eat 1.5 to 2 times the number of potatoes mashed that they would eat baked. Friday, the 28th, is your welcoming day. It's also Black Friday. Speaking of which, only in America do people trample others for sales exactly one day after being thankful for what they already have. And Friday night at Clearbrook Park, it's the opening night of Walking in a Winter Wonderland. Half the proceeds will benefit Chain of Checks. Go to fcprd.net to get your tickets. Saturday the 29th, it's Small Business Saturday, a reminder to shop locally. And on Sunday the 30th, it's Stay Home Because You're Well Day. Sometimes it's just nice to not have to go anywhere. All right, let's see how you did on the Brain Buster. The question was, this has been around since the 1970s and was invented by 3 Nobel Prize-winning scientists. Is it A, stovetop stuffing, B, the electric carving knife, or C, tofu turkey? And the answer is A, stovetop stuffing. I am most thankful that you have joined me again this week for the Breakfast with Barry Lee podcast. Invite others to join us. breakfastwithbarrylee.com. In closing, I don't know who wrote this little poem, but it goes like this. Thanksgiving, that special day when families gather from far and near to give thanks that they only have to see each other but once a year. Have a blessed week.